This is the Georgia Farm Monitor. Since 1966, your source for state and national agribusiness news and features for farmers and consumers about Georgia's #1 industry, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by the state's largest general farm organization, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now, here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Burgamy.
Wow, our last show for the month of May. Hard to believe, summer almost here. Although given the recent temperatures, you would think it was July or August.
That's true, that's true.
All right, again, everybody, welcome to the Georgia Farm Monitor. I'm Ray DeLessio.
And I'm Kenny Burgamy. As always, we've got a great show planned for you today. Coming up, the Monitor travels to South Carolina, where we were given a personal tour of one of the largest strawberry farms in the country. Why South Carolina, you ask? Well, we'll explain. Also on the program, Damon Jones reports on a unique partnership designed to benefit market growers, patrons, and the Paulding County School Ag Program.
And speaking of unique, on this month's edition of Meals from the Field, not one, but two unique recipes using blueberries. All this and more starting right now on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Well, every year the Georgia Farm Bureau gives members a chance to see a wide variety of farm operations in a relatively short period of time. Typically, you'd find the travelers visiting one of the districts around Georgia, but for the first time, producers had the opportunity to see how a few folks in South Carolina do farming. This year's tour consisted of more than 40 people from around the state. And on this occasion, participants learned about farming from growers in South Carolina, plus research and development on several of the stops. Georgia Farm Bureau President Zippy Duval along for the trip. He said venturing into another state this go-round can prove to be a great learning experience.
Our way of doing things had been going to a different district in our own state, and so we thought we'd mix it up, do a little bit experimenting and see how our people like it. So we decided every so often we'd take the tour out of state to a neighboring state or somewhere else that has something that has to do with agriculture and give them a different viewpoint. And to me, as a farmer, you want to tour something that you're not familiar with so that you can look for that new diversification that might come to your farm in the future to keep those additional generations to coming. And it also, you do want a little mixture of what you are familiar with, because you learn by other people's mistakes, and it's just good opportunity to make sure that you don't make some of the same mistakes that other people make.
Stops on this year's tour gave us an up-close look into R&D that's being performed at Clemson University and the grass that is grown and maintained on the football field that Georgia fans know all too well in Death Valley. Buses rolled on to one of the largest strawberry producers in the Southeast, Cooley Brothers Farm, that's located near Spartanburg, close to the North-South Carolina line. It's called Strawberry Hill, USA, and that's where James Cooley opened up his 110 acres of strawberries to the Georgia farmers. That farm operation has evolved over the years to include a large agritourism presence. The stop gives folks a chance to learn about the long history of the Cooley family's peach operation and even the thousands of blackberry plants. After stops at Max Pride in McBee, South Carolina, the famous Boone Hall plantation in Mount Pleasant used in several movies that's just outside of Charleston, and the Charleston Tea Plantation on Wadmalaw Island, Chalmers Michael of the South Carolina Farm Bureau said he hopes this official visit by Georgia growers won't be the last.
We feel like we know a lot, we know each other, we know our friends, and it's really fantastic to have you guys bring farmers in, bring producers in, and just to share ideas. And for us, it's good for us to come out and meet with them and just to network with them. But most importantly, you've been to Cooley Brothers, you went to Clemson, which is fantastic, and I went to Cooley Brothers, McPride's here at the McLeods, and then going on down to Boone Hall and the tea plantation and seeing Charleston. That's fantastic for the growers that are on your bus, for our growers to make more friends, and it's a growth, and it's a lot of fun and networking, and I think it's maybe we can do this also. Come and visit you guys, bring some South Carolina growers to Georgia. So.
Okay, coming up next week on the Monitor, I'll have more about this year's out-of-state farm tour, including an inside look at the Charleston Tea Plantation.
In other news now, thanks to that freeze we had in late March, the USDA has designated 3 Georgia counties as primary natural disaster areas. Now, if you're a producer living in Crawford, Peach, or Taylor counties and suffered losses caused by the freeze, you are eligible for low-interest emergency loans from USDA's Farm Service Agency. Eligible counties have 8 months from the date of the declaration to apply for loans to help cover part of their actual losses. Now, other eligible counties affected by the freeze include Bibb, Houston, Macon, Marion, Monroe, Schley, Talbot, and Upson County. Additional information is available online at www.disaster.fsa.usda.gov. Well, if you're wondering about those summer gas prices, according to a Purdue University energy expert, farmers can expect gasoline prices to remain considerably lower than what they were last year, even though they've been edging up in recent weeks. While the average price per gallon is around $2.70, that's still about $1 lower than it was at this time a year ago. In addition, reports of a nuclear deal between the U.S. and Iran resulting in a lifting of sanctions could increase the flow of Iranian oil on the world market, which in turn would lower gasoline prices. Now, meantime, if you're looking to start your career or even thinking about a career change, agriculture might be where you want to go.
Yeah, the industry has seen a huge growth in the number of jobs available, and there doesn't seem to be enough qualified applicants to fill them. Recently, Mark Wildman visited one campus that just recorded its highest number of graduates ever.
In Tifton, Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, or ABAC as it's known, has been educating students for careers in agriculture for over 100 years. And even though times have changed, the importance of this college has not. This year, ABAC has had 409 students graduate, and that is a record. The president of ABAC, Dr. David Bridges, feels ABAC plays a very important role in keeping Ag's workforce strong and well educated.
We focus on preparing the student for life and work. We're about to roll out a new strategic plan, and one of the elements of that strategic plan is that we as an institution accept the responsibility for preparing the student for life and work, not just getting them a degree.
ABAC has an enrollment of 3,457 students, and they come from 151 counties in Georgia, 17 states, and 25 countries. And if you think this college just teaches students how to be better farmers, you would be mistaken. Students here have many options.
We cover a lot of the waterfront under Ag. We train a lot of students who go into business in sod production, golf course construction, and as golf course superintendents. So that's another area of opportunity. We have a large program in forestry and wildlife, which we often throw under the umbrella of agriculture. And then the 2 other areas that people really don't think about a lot is we have a growing number of students involved in communications, technically in the School of Liberal Arts, but they are in an agricultural communications curriculum and program.
Along with the strong programs at ABAC, the college should see continued growth from our neighboring states, thanks to a tuition reduction for Florida, South Carolina, and Alabama. From now on, students from these states will receive in-state tuition rates.
It's an important economic impact activity. And in Georgia and for ABAC, where agriculture is a huge part of what we do, largest industry in the state, largest part of our college enrollment, it's an opportunity for us to be a regional provider of human capital to support agriculture throughout the southeastern United States.
So with plenty of jobs available and growing global populations looking to the U.S. for ag solutions, the future looks bright for ag and ABAC.
Every 5 years there's a report put out by U.S. Department of Agriculture, and it's kind of colloquially known as the Purdue Report because Purdue University produces it. But what it is a job forecast. It looks and forecasts employment opportunities and career opportunities over the next 5-year horizon. And once again, they're showing that job opportunities in agriculture, agribusiness, and related food industries are among some of the strongest growing sectors of the U.S. economy. And so that portends well for our increasing enrollment and increasing number of graduates each semester.
Reporting from Tifton, I'm Mark Wildman for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Okay, still to come on the Monitor, how ag students in Paulding County are benefiting from a local farmers market.
Yeah, but first, what do you get when you mix fresh, locally grown blueberries with ground turkey? Yeah, I know. Very simple. A burger like no other. Stay tuned. Meals from the Field when the Georgia Farm Monitor continues.
Mike Underwood preps for summer with an equipment check. He'll farm 1,000 acres this year, but won't pocket every dime from his corn and soybeans. Underwood gives generously to Commodities for Communities. Here it's crops instead of cash, where producers gift grain to the University of Tennessee Foundation to benefit UT Extension and UT Ag Research. After the commodity is sold, the money circulates back into this area where agriculture is so critical to the economy.
I like the idea that it stays in the community and in Dyer County. I think it helps the whole farming industry, really, you know what I mean, as far as people working together and learning together, and that's what I get out of it.
Commodities for Communities started here in New Bern and Dyersburg and has now spread to 7 West Tennessee counties. The program helped UT Knoxville and the Institute of Agriculture earn a prestigious national recognition from the Carnegie Foundation. This northwest portion of Tennessee produces half the soybeans for the state each year and a sizable percentage of corn, wheat, and cotton. When farmers give to this program, the money generated goes to fund research and educational programming.
Exactly. They see this as being an investment into the future for their business and for future generations. A lot of people that we have that have supported the program to date are multi-generational farm families.
UT Extension agents say the university benefits, and then they can come back and help the farmers.
Our local producers have come to rely on that information, and they understand and realize the value of that research that we do, so they have been very receptive to gifting grain to help support those future efforts.
Campbell likes to use the term pay it forward to describe this concept. While donations here are measured in bushels instead of dollars, it's still an act of generosity that is greatly appreciated. This is Chuck Denny reporting.
You know, an old wise man once told me, Ray, do not judge a book by its cover. That old wise man, my father. What you're looking at here is blueberries and turkey. Again, do not judge a book by its cover, folks, because when you taste this recipe, you're going to thank us. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Georgia Farm Monitor and to another edition of Meals from the Field. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Marcia Ray, our senior home economist here for the Georgia Farm Bureau and the Georgia Farm Monitor, I guess you want to say, and of course, now retired from the Department of Agriculture.
It's
You're
awesome.
loving retirement, aren't you?
I love it. Yep.
So today we wanted to do blueberries because, of course, June, we are going into the month of June. June is blueberry month. And blueberries, turkey burgers, not exactly something that people would go, oh my gosh, I can't wait to try it, but I'm anxious to try
They're
this.
good. They're good.
Tell us what we got here.
Okay, we're going to do a blueberry turkey burger with a blueberry ketchup.
Blueberry ketchup.
So I'm going to mix up a batch of burgers right here, and I'm
Okay.
going to let you go ahead and put
All right,
those
we're
on
gonna
the pan.
Put those on the pan.
All right, this is a pound of ground turkey, 3/4 of a cup of Georgia blueberries,
Listen to that sizzle.
2 teaspoons of tarragon, some salt and pepper to taste. That's all that's in here. You really don't need anything to bind it. You mix all that up, and you can make these ahead of time, but don't flip out, because if you make them too far ahead, they're going to turn blue. That's okay. But when you cook them, they look like turkey burgers. All right, Ray's grilling those. You can do these on the grill, although I would recommend a grill pan because the blueberries are going to, kind of get soft and kind of explode a little bit. All right, so that's your turkey burger. While Ray's cooking those, we're going to make the blueberry ketchup that goes on this. Oh, we need to brush those with soy sauce. I forgot.
All right. Oh, soy sauce on them too.
A little bit of soy sauce on there.
All right.
And I have tested this with some neighbors when I tried it, and I have a neighbor who is a picky eater from South Georgia.
Why don't I ever get to test anything that you make? I always have to try it.
You have to try it here. I weed out the mistakes. How's that? But he loved these, so if that tells you anything.
All right.
All right.
How long do we let it cook on one side?
Probably about 5 minutes.
5 minutes on one side, okay.
All right. You're gonna, this is 1.5 cups of Georgia blueberries. You're gonna add to that 1/2 cup of chopped onion. Vidalia would work fine. Really, you need kind of a sweet onion for this blueberry ketchup. This is 1/4 cup of brown sugar, light or dark, it doesn't matter. 1/4 cup of rice wine vinegar, and this will be a little bit sweeter than like an apple cider or a regular. It's got ginger and salt, and you're just going to cook this for about 10 or 15 minutes on low until it starts to, starts to melt.
So I don't need to mash up the blueberries or anything?
Nope, it will. Okay. They will do it themselves.
Really? Okay.
And the thing you need to look for when you're buying fresh blueberries is for that little silver sheen that's on them. You know, some people might think it's mold. It's not. It's supposed to be there, and that just shows it's a fresh blueberry.
Okay. Oh my gosh, it even smells good.
And you can keep blueberries in your refrigerator up to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Weed out anything that doesn't look absolutely fresh. And Georgia has recently surpassed peaches in blueberry production.
Right.
Yep, very good. So like I said, you would do this for 10 or 15 minutes. You need to watch it constantly. And you would serve this with, I have tried it with cheese. A mild cheese would be good on there, although this doesn't have it.
We got the finished product.
We've got the finished product.
This here. All right.
That's the blueberry ketchup.
Blueberry ketchup.
And then we've also made a blueberry cobbler with a biscuit-like topping, and that will the recipe will be on the website. We're not going to demonstrate that.
Show that cobbler.
And like I said, you can
You're pretty much your basic cobbler dough.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like a biscuit topping. You just drop the dough
Biscuit
on there,
okay.
yeah. And you could make this ketchup several days ahead of time. You put it in your fridge, and then you're ready to go. Like I said, this recipe sounds a little weird, but I promise it's good.
Nothing that you've ever made has really, I can't even say really, because it's never been bad. It's always been good. And I do want to let you know that we do get a lot of responses from people who try these. We do get emails, and if we don't, usually they're always on there, but sometimes if they're not on there right away, people do get upset. And they want those recipes. They want Marcia's recipes, so you do get a lot of positive responses.
Well, like I said, we do try. Sometimes we have to go through 3 or 4 recipes to come up with something that I think viewers would use.
Okay.
If things are way out there, I know I wouldn't cook them. So
before we close this out, I'm going to flip.
There we go.
There we go. I'm going to flip this one more, and again, 5 minutes on each side.
About 5 minutes on each side.
5 minutes on each side, so we're getting close to 5
minutes. Until the juices run clear.
Right. And there we go. We're flipping them.
Good job, Ray.
All right. I had to show that I can flip burgers. And again, folks, these recipes you can find by logging on to gfb.org/recipes. Everything is there for you. Again, these are blueberry turkey burgers. Marcia, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ray.
As always, good to see you.
Good
and we
to
shall
see you.
see you next month.
Ray and Marcia, great job in the kitchen as always. Well, just a reminder, if you missed any part of that recipe or any story on today's show, you can still see them in their entirety at our YouTube channel. That's the Georgia Farm Monitor. Our archives go back to 2009. Also, complete shows are now on that channel. If you can't watch us at home, log on and watch us at your leisure. Also, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to like the Georgia Farm Monitor Facebook page. If you have a story idea or if you want to send us some pictures of your farm or some pictures of saying how much you love this program, feel free to do so. Send it to us. The message can be sent at Facebook at the address listed below. That's news@farm-monitor.com. And straight ahead on the Monitor, if you're a frequent visitor to farmers markets, you don't want to miss this next story. We're going to show you how ag students in Paulding County are assisting local farmers and vendors both in selling and caring for locally grown food.
Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack cut the ribbon to open the 20th annual USDA Farmers Market, which brings rural farm products to urban Washington.
It's an opportunity for small and mid-sized producers to have a market that they can control, where they have a relationship with their customer and they can determine an appropriate price for whatever they produce. We want more and more young folks to be participating in agriculture, and we're excited about the opportunities that farmers markets as a market opportunity for those beginning farmers and ranchers and producers creates.
This market connects us to all the farmers coming from nearby Virginia or Delaware or Maryland and supplying us with their fantastic wares, fresh, healthy, affordable food.
I love to eat fresh, locally grown produce. To me, it tastes better than what I can get at the store.
And for area farmers, it's a chance to maintain healthy finances.
Our business plan for us to do well as a farmer, we need to bring our product to larger urban areas. Farmers markets represents 20% of our gross revenue, so it's an important 20% where we get a full retail price.
To find a farmers market near you, go to www.usdalocalfooddirectories.com. In Washington for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, I'm Bob Ellison.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. Now, similar to Washington, D.C., as we speak, there are farmers markets being held all over the state of Georgia.
However, Paulding County is doing something a little different by placing their market on a high school campus. Damon Jones paid them a visit and tells you why this is not only beneficial for the vendors, but the students as well.
Whether it's food, plants, or even walking sticks that you're looking for, the Paulding County Farmers Market has a little bit of everything. Every Thursday, these local vendors bring their goods to this unique event that shows the community the importance of agriculture.
I think it's very important to have fresh produce and different agricultural events here in the county simply because some people aren't ever exposed to things like that. And I think it's important for Paulding County Farm Bureau to show those things and bring those things to the public.
Unlike most farmers markets, this one is held right on the Paulding County High School campus. It's an opportunity school principal Paul McMahon knew was too good to pass up.
We've really always been looking for a way to connect the ag program and the curriculum to the community, and this opportunity came through the Farm Bureau, and my teachers ran to me very excitedly and said, "Do you think we could host this? Is this a possibility?" And the answer quickly was an absolutely yes.
With it being right on school grounds, it easily allows FFA students to help out and see the many different aspects of the agricultural industry.
We want the high school students to know that agriculture is a good field to go into, and it's not just farming. You know, there's a lot of other things that you can go into and work in the agriculture industry, whether it's agribusiness, you know, landscaping, even things like forestry and surveying land. So that was the general idea about getting them out here.
After getting a taste of what it's like to do business, Townsend hopes these kids will be back out here in the near future with products of their own.
Typically what they do, they get to know the vendors, they help out the vendors, you'll see them hanging around a little bit, kind of to the side and hearing what the vendors, hearing them talk and interact with customers and gaining that experience. In the future, we want to see some of these guys come out and actually start, possibly selling some stuff at the market.
Really in any of my classrooms, my goal is to try to bring the real world into classrooms and bring the classrooms out into the real world. That's where the relevance happens, that's where learning happens, that's where it all makes sense. So for ag students to see how the community and how farmers in the world are able to make business out of what they do, that's a learning moment for me. This is a classroom right now.
And it's not just the students that benefit from this farmers market, but also the community and the shoppers, as they are guaranteed to get the freshest, safest produce they can buy.
I think the fact that we offer fantastic certified organic fruits and vegetables, I think that the fact that we offer great homemade cookies and cakes, I think the fact that we are here to support our community and to show them how agriculture still is very much in today's society, I think it's a great reason to come out.
Reporting from Paulding County, I'm Damon Jones for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
All right, Damon, great job, sir. That is going to do it for this week's edition of the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Well, here's your weekly reminder for all the latest ag info regarding food, great recipes, and what's happening down on the farm. Check out our Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest pages. You'll stay informed and see what's up in the world of farming and the Farm Monitor Show.
Take care, everybody. We will see you next week right here on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Have a great week.